All right. Okay, things are finally getting a move on. Chunky, calm down. A couple minutes late. No problem with that. This is just one of those songs, you know. Okay. So, how's everybody doing? I mean, obviously nobody's watching. I don't give a shit, but how's everybody doing? I'm hot as balls up here. Holy shit! I was trying to get the AC in the window over there, and then the cat was trying to get out the window, and the AC was gonna fall out the window. I had to stop, so I'm just gonna sweat it out for like an hour. Probably all I can survive. But how's everyone dealing with the heat, you know? Sucks balls, in my opinion. Let me just send some stupid tweets first before I get into it. I'm thinking about starting with just the screenplay, I guess, and then go. I kind of want to do the news thing first in Connecticut, just to get it over with. Street takeovers. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about a little bit. My jokes. Of course, I got some terrible jokes, of course, later as well. But things are going well. Working on getting a house. That's a fun process, if anyone's never done that. It's not a good market to be buying in, so we're getting the good old Scroogey. And offering, actually, we were just hoping on. Didn't get it. It's fine, though, because everything works out in the end. Anyway. Yeah, you know, I'm going to start with this anyway. I think, because fuck it. That's good enough. I don't know, just something to look at. Can I make it full screen? I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. Other than that, I'm working on, of course, music and stuff. I haven't really worked on the new album a lot recently, which was a problem. I've been working on some stuff with my brother. We've got a video that should be coming out soon. We watched this movie called Skeleton Man together, which is hilarious. Y'all gonna enjoy that. It's gonna take me probably another couple weeks to finish editing, though. At least until I finally get some time to start working on it more, because I don't know, this whole past week I haven't gotten a lot of editing done. Other than that, I mean, I don't have any. I got like a song I kind of almost have finished that I've worked on. It's like a jazz song, though. I don't even know if I want to put vocals or anything kind of like that to it. Maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. I don't even know if I should even put it out then, if I'm just going to do that, but whatever. I don't know. I can never figure out how loud I want the music to be, but other than that, yeah, I got some more videos we've been working on. I got to try to record some vocals tomorrow for the Metal Born Into This version I'm doing, because I got the drums done, some background sounds I decided to fill into the song. Flat Coke and nasty booze. So that's basically just needs me to do the singing on it, which that's always fun. I sound like a psycho. Alright, so let's move some things around here, and let's get down to business. Look, kids, we all got dreams, we all got passions, we all got hopes. There's a little thing you don't realize until you grow up, that you had all that when you were younger. Not only like all the drive, but also all the creativity and everything that made it good. You know, the older you get, it's like there's a brain cell in there that targets like everything, I don't know, like talent, and it slowly decays over time or something. But so I wrote this little screenplay, not a screenplay, but it's a story a while ago, and for some creative writing thing. I found it a long time ago, and kind of what I'm doing with my YouTube channel, making crap I'm probably going to go back and watch later. I might as well record this, because if I'm moving again, who knows what I'm going to lose. So, might as well get it down before it disappears forever. So, as you can see, The Hunt for the Second Earth by Nick Sobansky. I'm going to try to do some voices for this, and I'll try to read it properly, but I'll try not to touch the table, too, so I don't get the freaking bed. Chapter 1, Chicken Butt. We open. No. One day on the planet Earth, the school named Bennett was letting out all of their mentally wounded preteens out. Yeah, I should remind you, I've written this when I was a lot younger, so it's probably going to be written pretty poorly, but I'll try to make it better when I'm reading it. 4 kids were in the front of the school hanging out. Nick S., Nick F., John, and Matt were all sitting on the front stairs. Then the thing that would destroy the world happened. Matt said, "Hey, Nick, guess what?" Nick answered, "What?" Matt then said, "Chicken butt." Unbeknownst to them, their everyday talk was being listened to by an alien species called the Tyrants. That harmless joke was not harmless anymore. Those words would be converted into the Tyrants' language, when converted into the Tyrants' language, were very shocking. In their language, they said, "Destroy the planet Earth." The easily angered Tyrants took the request with joy. They then warped to the Earth and prepared their starboard cannons for firing. The world looked on with amazement as their destruction started to take place. The 4 friends knew what was coming and prepared for their deaths. John fell on the ground in a feeble position and started to suck his thumb. The 2 Nicks screamed, and Matt jumped up and down as a last chance to fly. The Tyrants gave no mercy and fired. The Earth was instantly destroyed. Chapter 1. The Earth's already destroyed. We're done with that now. We're done with Earth. We don't need Earth anymore. We're moving on. Klebop 5, Chapter 2. Klebop 5, Stew, and a whole lot of disappointment. Before I go any further, I should mention, I think at this age, I just read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so get ready for a lot of this to be like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Nick S., that would be me, opened his eyes to see a metal room. Nick S. yelled, "Get up!" I'll gotta start doing voices here. "Get up, guys!" I mean, it's me, so it should have my voice. He looked around to see that the rest of them were all on the ground, curled up in balls. They all awoke to see the same metal room. Then they heard a loud bang. Then the door opened. A creature and a robot walked in. The creature was green, with 2 arms, 3 fingers on each hand, 2 legs, no toes, an oval head, and 1 very large eyeball. The creature said, "Hi, I'm Cleobop 5. I'm a Nolak." The robot said, "Hey, I'm Stu, but that doesn't matter. Actually, my whole life doesn't matter." Cleobop 5 whispered to Stu, "Stop being depressed when we have guests." Then Nick F. fainted. Matt tried to hide by putting his shirt over his head, and Nick S. and John just stood there and tried to look cool. Then Stu threw little earplugs to them all. Put them in your ears, and you will be able to understand all languages," instructed Stu. The 4 boys did as they were told, just like in school. Stu and Klebop 5 showed the 4 boys around. Nick S. asked, "What's going on?" Klebop 5 showed them to seats and told them to sit. Klebop 5 said, "Okay, guys, here's the story." He continued, "Well, it first started when Stu and I were traveling by your planet. We saw a Tyrant Heavy-class cruiser. I was wondering what was going on, so I looked down at the planet. Stu was yelling about how bad his life is. I saw you 4 doing the classic SOS dance, so I saved you." John asked, "Is the Earth destroyed?" Klebop 5 answered, "Yes, it is. I wish I was destroyed." grunted Stu. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Many questions and a close encounter. In the ship, still more questions had to be asked. Matt asked, Is there any way to bring it back or to make it over again? Stu said, Yes, but it would be a waste of our meaningless lives. Nick F. questioned, How can we bring it back? Stu answered, Well, we can go to the all-knowing beings on the forbidden planet. He continued, Now, I will go to my room. Oh, oops, this was a robot. I will go to my room and weep uncontrollably. Stu walked away towards his room. Nick S. said, Let's go there and ask them. Cleebop 5 said, If only it was that easy. Cleebop 5 continued, You see, the planet they're on is controlled by the tyrants. Matt and John searched for the kitchen. Nick F. checked what was on the TV, and Nick S. asked the name of the ship. Cleebop 5 said, The ship's name is the Obliterator. About an hour after the four boys, the depressed robot, and the Nolak all calmed down, the alert alarm went off. Nick S. and Matt ran into the cockpit. Matt yelled, What's wrong, alien dude? We're being chased, Cleebop 5 yelled. By who? Nick asked. Cleebop 5 answered, By a tyrant heavy-class cruiser. This is the same one that destroyed Earth. The tyrant cruiser was firing its forward plasma cannons. Luckily for them, most of the shots missed. Our shields are weak, screamed Cleebop 5. Matt said, Okay, shoot back at them. Cleebop 5 shouted, We have no guns. We traded them for a stereo system. Nick S. exclaimed, So why do you call the ship the Obliterator? Cleebop 5 answered, We have killer music. 3 minutes later, the Obliterator's shields gave way. The ship was shot and crippled. The heavy Tyrant-class cruiser used a tractor beam on them and brought them into boarding distance. The Tyrants started to board. I gotta see how many chapters we have so I know. I wrote an epilogue. That's so stupid. Okay, after this one, I'll change the little graphic I have up. All right. Chapter 4. Hide and go seek. Everyone hide. Everyone hide. They're about to break into the ship, commanded Cleebop 5. Matt and John and Stu hid in the refrigerator and started eating. Nick S. hid behind clear curtains, and Cleebop 5 and Nick F. hid in the corners of the cockpit. The Tyrants broke through and started boarding. Nick S. was the first to see them. They had 2 eyes, long heads, scaly skin, a large mouth, rows of sharp teeth, a lizard body with 4 arms, 2 legs, and a long tail. They were green all over. In their hands, they carried carbon phaser rifles with silencers, which made their guns louder. These rifles also had stun capability. I don't know why I added that. That made the guns louder. It's going to be important information, I'm sure. A shot went off, and Nick S. fell to the floor. 2 Tyrant heavy guards carried him onto their ship. The next to be found was Nick F. and Cleebop 5. They were loaded onto the ship. The Tyrants searched the ship, but never found the robot and the 2 boys. Moments after the Tyrants left the Obliterator, Matt and John, now full, jumped out of the refrigerator. Stu followed. Matt called, Hey guys, did they leave yet? Stu remarked, Sensors indicate that Nick S. and Cleebop 5 were captured and took to the Tyrant's cruiser. Matt, John, and Stu hustled over to where the Tyrants broke in. The 3 of them sneaked onto the Tyrant's ship. Stu whispered, We need to get to the jail cells. John asked, What are they? Stu replied, They are on 2 floors down. Then a loud siren went off, and a voice came over the intercom saying, "Intruders in Sector B, Floor 1. Stu said, "They found us." Then, with the excitement, he said, "Maybe they will kill me." This is what life's about. The life's about the little joys you bring to yourself. Chapter 5. Who Dat? On the 3rd floor, the team of 3 got off the elevator that they found a little while ago. They split up in hopes to find their friends faster. Matt was first to find danger. In a matter of seconds, swarms of tyrant Royal Guard surrounded Matt. The Royal Guard is the strongest and best armed soldiers they have. The tyrant Royal Guard commander shouted, "Give up, human." Matt replied, "Oh, never." Then Matt let out a sonic boom of a burp. The tyrant shook furiously, and then, with a pop of their heads, exploded all at the same time. Matt was now drenched with slime, but still alive. Then John went face to face with evil. One tyrant, first class, mini... Wait. Okay. We'll try that again. Then John went face to face with evil. One tyrant, first class, mini baby warriors walked up on him to him. John did the first thing that came to mind. He engaged it in conversation. Soon, the small tyrant blew up. The baby blew up because its brain could not take in any more information, so it just blew up. "Man, that thing put up such a fight," huffed John. Finally, middle-class tyrants surrounded Stu. A random tyrant said, "Resistance is futile." Stu remarked with a whole speech about how much life doesn't matter, how sad it is to live. The tyrants cried and killed themselves. Stu was victorious. These were our action scenes, I think, in the movie that's going on. Chapter 6. Getting saved with a little self-reflecting. Will, Matt, John, and Stu... Wait, what? Matt, John, and Stu were still were fighting to find them. Nick S. had a little time for a little self-reflection. The Earth is gone, he thought. That means my family is gone. Nick shows no emotion. No more Bennett. Nick shows no emotion. No more McDonald's. Nick screams from the sheer horror of it all. That's good. Cleebop 5 cried, "Hey, look. Hey, there they are. They're going to rescue us." When they got there, the jail bars melted from the rancid smell that still crept from Matt's mouth. "Come on, we've got to get back to the ship. We could still meet the mice," shouted Cleebop 5. Oh, Cleebop 5, whatever. "What?" questioned the 4 boys. "Oh, come on, we've got to get back to the ship. We can still meet the mice," shouted Cleebop 5. "What?" questioned the 4 boys. "I'll tell you later," replied Cleebop 5. The 6 of them ran like the dickens to the ship, where they all got on, then detached from the Titan cruiser. Chapter 7. Mice, Nelson, and your mom. In the ship, the boys still had many more questions about the mice. John asked, "So, Cleebop 5, what about the mice thing?" "The mice are the most intelligent beings in the known galaxy," he continued. "They are the things that made Earth. Now that Earth is gone, they might help us in our quest." Nick F. was in total awe and said, "Your mom." Cleebop 5 then switched the ship into totally unnecessary fast mode. Cleebop 5 stated, "We are going to the Gnip Grub. This is where the mice will meet us." In a matter of seconds, the obliterator reached the Gnip Grub. The ship docked, and they all walked onto the restaurant. There they met 3 mice. The first mouse said, Hey, look at our creations. The 6 people sat down and began to talk. The second mouse screamed, "Shut up!" "We want to show you something," the first mouse continued. "We saved a human from the planet Earth. Meet Nelson," exclaimed the mouse. Nelson walked out of the bathroom and said, "Hey, I'm Nelson." Oh my god, I still got the background vocals on this part of the music. Should have been dead. Whatever, we'll go past that. Anyway. "Hi, I'm Nelson." The mice then moved on and gave weapons to each person. The Knicks got photon drops, which were a candy. John got a pair of stainless pants. Matt got a can of soda. Cleebop 5 got a cell phone that can call God. Stu got a poster of the Spice Girls, and Nelson got a sniper rifle, which in space is a type of cow. The mice commanded us to leave. The mice commanded us to leave. "But mice point us in the right direction," asked Cleebop 5. The mice pointed right. They gave us a map. Then the mice told them to leave, and they did as they were told. And then we move on to Chapter 8. Oh my god. All of these still have their... don't worry about it. Chapter 8. Travel. A travel to the Forbidden Planet. They got into the ship and typed in the coordinates and put the ship into ludicrous speed. They were flying faster than time when you're having fun. They were closing in on the Forbidden Planet. In a matter of moments, they were arriving at the McNugget-shaped planet. Cleebop 5 shut off the bursters, but not for long because Tyrant Snuggleboff fighters were chasing them. They looked so weird that none could describe them. Land the ship on the nugget-shaped planet," said Nelson. The ship did a crash landing, and the crew got out. Hey, he looked around, and soon found an elevator named the Elevator to Heck. They got on. The elevator started to go down. Then music started up, and it was Hitler's Greatest Hits. They almost didn't make it. Wow, I was edgy back then. I can't believe I wrote this for a school thing with like 6th grade or something. Hitler's Greatest Hits, whatever. At the top, at the last floor, they were greeted by a group of Tyrant tanks. The tanks were shaped like the M&M mascots. Cleebop 5 whipped out the phone and called God. He got the machine, and the Knicks ate their candy. John just looked at his pants. Matt drank the soda. Nelson milked his cow, and Stu showed him his poster, and they self-destructed. The 6 beings were Papa Smurf, Mickey Mouse, Miss Neary, an Oompa Loompa, Britney Spears, and an unassuming local guy. They each got a wish. Cleebop 5 wished that he was just Cleebop. Matt wished that after they finished, they would be teleported back to Earth. John wished that Earth were back. Stu wished he were dead. There was much rejoicing. Nick F. wished that all the humans were back, and Nick S. wished he were the ruler of the Earth. Then they were transported back to Earth. And now we move on to the epilogue. After their adventures, Nick S., ruler of the Earth, makes Smurf clones and makes a giant shopping mall in Canada. John becomes the ruler of the underground world. Nick F. becomes the ruler of the water world. The underwater world. Matt becomes the ruler of the moon. Everybody loves Nick S., and he is the best person ever born. Nick S. is the best. All bound down to Nick F. S. Nick S. is bow down the almighty master of evil. Wow, I really had some problems. Do I have another page? Okay, thank God. Well, there you go. There is a little boy does Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I guess. That was interesting. Finding out my stupid music thing isn't working the proper way, but whatever. Alright. Let's not waste too much time. We're just going to move on to the next thing, because it's hot as balls up here. All right, street takeover thing. This is something I've been seeing a little bit more about in the news, on Twitter, whatever that bullshit. So I just wanted to talk about it, I think, a little bit. So let's look here. We're going to read an article by NBC Connecticut. Street takeovers are dangerous scenarios where crowds block Connecticut roadways, then engage in what police call riot-like activities. They are becoming more common with a string of incidents this month. There have been at least 6 street takeovers recently, 4 of those this month alone. State police say typically 20 cars and up to 500 people will block a road. The gatherings are also tied to racing. They're doing donuts in parking lots, disrupting traffic, closing down intersections. Connecticut State Police Sergeant Christy Geltema, said they get back up on the highway and they're traveling well over 100 miles an hour, up to 150 miles an hour. That sounds a little dangerous. This busy Memorial Day weekend, state police got a tip that street racers were congregating in the Interstate 84 West Tunnel in downtown Hartford early Sunday morning trying to block the highway. Video taken by Bristol police shows drivers doing donuts and street racing earlier this month. In Meriden on May 6th, police dash cam video shows a large crowd swarming a police cruiser, some even jumping up on the hood of the cruiser, causing $2,000 worth of damage. There was similar scene in Holland on May 21st. One couple, Dennis and Stephanie, did not want to show their faces, but told NBC Connecticut they think their car was totaled after they got stuck in a takeover. It doesn't matter what town you're in, you need to be careful, Stephanie said. They were jumping on top of the car, kicking it. I was asking them to stop. Yeah, it's going to work. Just stop! I mean, we tried it with rapists. You think, if anything, that would be the thing to work. Just don't rape me. But no, people don't care. You tell them to stop. Doesn't matter. From the takeovers this month, a total of 3 suspects have been arrested. 1 tied to the Tallinn incident and 2 in the Meriden incident. These situations are extremely dangerous. I mean, they've got like 100 something people that took place in each of those, and they only got 3 arrests. Just get away with it. These situations are extremely dangerous. We know these individuals have been known to be volatile and violent when it comes to law enforcement or other individuals trying to intervene. That's not what you want to hear. It is why state police advise Connecticut drivers that come across a street takeover to find another route. Stop. Turn around. Go to a different direction. She said, do not approach them. Do not get out of your vehicle or try and intervene. Give them your wallet. Give them your daughter. Give them your wife. Get out and just start helping them. Join in with the street protest. That's the best way to make sure you don't get targeted by it. This is become one of them, right? That's what you want. Anyway, for months, state troopers have been going undercover and collaborating with the FBI, trying to identify ringleaders. Wow. Huh. Geltema, I don't know if that's a girl or a guy, but whatever. Geltema says there has been an uptick in incidents since March, coinciding with warmer months and the end of pandemic lockdowns, of course. However, it's a she. Okay. She says these takeovers have been happening since at least 2020, and they have led to serious injuries. 2020. I wonder what else happened around 2020. Just wonder. Back in 2020, there was a homicide in the Manchester commuter parking lot. That was part of the street takeovers. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Back in November of 2022, we had a state trooper who was stuck trying to stop a vehicle from one of these individuals. Almost a year ago in June, down in New Haven, there was a triple shooting that involved some street takeover individuals. The concern now is that the swelling crowds of spectators are largely made up of teens. Of course, we know they're high school-age kids, which could be very detrimental to these young children who have a full life ahead of them. All right, well, they're high school-aged. So they're probably not young children if they're high school-aged. Like, sorry, but you're closer to being an adult at that point than to being a young child. Whatever. It's a situation that not only makes it more challenging for police to respond at an already dangerous scene, it also raises the stakes. The reckless behavior there is the potential that there could be a catastrophic mass casualties from what they're doing out there. It says, whatever. All right. I mean, that's basically about it so far of the story that we have in Connecticut. Some of these things have been going on since 2020 with street takeovers, mass groups of people. Now, here's my take on this whole thing. I think it's about, and it could just be, kids being kids, and we have too many, young people that got nothing to do. But let's look at some of these videos. These people are old enough. I don't know. I think they know what they're doing. Yeah, they're having fun and stuff like that. But I don't like the excuse of just, oh, these poor kids. They got no idea they know exactly what they're doing. They don't give a shit. I think this goes back to nothing is without consequences. The stuff that we had that took place, with George Floyd, Antifa, riots, Black Lives Matter riots, and all that kind of shit. It has an effect. You start to be able to see that, you start to be able to see what's acceptable, right, in society. You see things about, groups of people burning stuff down, throwing Molotov cocktails, whatever, attacking police and shit like that. And most of them getting away fine with it. Them seeing celebrities go out of their way to raise money to get these people out and that kind of stuff. And then to see, maybe even the people that do get in trouble. We have the whole Mizzy thing going on now, too. Or we got, even some of the people that do get in trouble just see how loose our system is and how, unserious they are about punishing criminals and that kind of crap. So mix that together, them trying to, go lighter on crime because they think that punishing people hurts them, God forbid. Because if you send people to jail, there's going to be one innocent person sent to jail, which, I get it's the whole Blackstone's formula, but at the same time, it's that's not an excuse to just give up on the entire thing in general. So you get people growing up in this, right? Seeing a general lack for law and order, or a general lack for caring about not only the society that's around them, but seeing, because I think people are getting more and more this idea of we're not living in a society together. It's more like we're different societies living, under one rule, which is a really bad way to look at it. Which I think a lot of these people, like we saw in the video we were just looking at here on NBC, people are waving around a Mexican flag. They're not waving around the American flag. They obviously have a different kind of feeling of identity that when they take over a street, they're taking over for something else, right? I don't need to go out and take over a street because, all the streets are mine already, I guess, because I'm an American or whatever, but I guess they have the feeling that they need to do this. I mean, these people, I don't know. These people are young. They're groups of people. They know the Black Lives Matter shit. They saw what happened in the last couple of years. They know what they can get away with. I know a lot of people probably have already forgotten about it, but the Chaz and all that kind of shit. Remember what that is? There's autonomous zones that started up in the United States in major cities and stuff like that. I mean, when George Floyd died, we let them. I have a picture. I have a picture of it, but I've taken a picture of the TV. We just let them shut down 84 just because people were mad. I mean, these kind of things, at the time, were all right, it makes sense, right? People were mad about George Floyd. Oh my God, Chunks. Shh. He's like, stop talking about George Floyd. Chunky, I will never stop talking about George Floyd. Anyway, so they saw that, and they saw that, oh, well, we can just get away with it. It's fine. There's no problem here, because I don't know. I guess this is the society we want to live in now. When you got people, you got places in the United States where you can just make an autonomous zone, and it's not treated like a big deal. This sends a message to people, to everybody, about the world that we're going to be living in, or that is giving them the message of what the world is, and that's the world they are going to bring into the future. That's not the world I want to live in. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, the thing with all the mass shoplifting too that we see, I think it's based upon a very similar thing. Where is there any coincidence? A lot of the mass shoplifting stuff happened after they start decriminalizing like shoplifting to a certain point. Of course, then they're just gonna go out and just do it, And then you see, well, if we just bum rush them with a bunch of people, most of us get out free. And it's like, what does that incentivize? We've got this story that came out just recently about 2 ladies getting fired for calling the police on somebody shoplifting, and it's like, what is the world that we're really incentivizing here? Is that this is what you should do because this is what I don't know. Because really what we're punishing is the people that are following the rules, and we're not punishing the people that aren't following the rules, right? We're almost giving them preferential treatment by not by not punishing them. I mean, it sounds like bullshit. And it sounds like I wouldn't be surprised too, because of that kind of stuff. We get mass, robbings, mass breaking-ins. I mean, we already got with the shoplifting, but just breaking into people's houses. We're getting closer and closer with the home invasions here in Connecticut. I mean, the biggest reason too is, I think, I don't know. I find it so hard to believe that the police cannot take care of some of this stuff, because it's like, we have social media. Look, you can see all these people's faces. They can't hunt them down. Yeah, some of them got masks on, which are the smart people, but like that, the shoplifting videos, they can't get most of these people. Maybe they know that they're kids. Maybe they're just like with the southern border. They're using kids specifically to do things because they know they won't get in trouble. I mean, that's the shoplifting, not the street takeovers. Street takeovers are just kids doing it because, I don't know, they got nothing better to do. My brother thought it would be like suburban youths. I don't think it's suburban youths. I think when the suburban youth do a street takeover, I don't think anybody really notices, because there's not that many people out there, right? Who's going to give a shit? And I highly doubt they're driving to the inner city to do it. Like I said, Mexican flags? I don't know. Oh my god. I'm just going to wrap this one up early. It's still pretty hot up here, so. Shut up, Chunks. Oh my god, no. Camera. There we go. Okay. Chunky! Alright. And now you're in for a special treat, of course, as we move on to everyone's favorite time of the evening. What are you doing with the jokes? Good God, lassie. It's just a couple of jokes. I didn't mean to make your mother's vagina explode like that. All I did was tell her about Tuna Tuesdays. All I did was go, ew. And she exploded. Who could have seen that? Who could have seen that coming, lassie? Yeah, right. And here we go. Let's just start in on the jokes. This week, my jokes are terrible. I had a hard time writing any jokes. I did some current topic stuff, but I try to do a bit at the end. It's just going to be god-awful. Just let me do it. Jokes. It's just jokes, If I make fun of Jews, whatever, right? Just a couple of jokes. I saw a sign in a neighborhood that said, "Slow, children," with a picture of a little stick figure kid playing on it. And I thought, man, how stupid does your kid gotta be before they literally have to warn the neighborhood about them? Like, damn. Is it the retard strength they're trying to warn us about? What's going on? Then further down the road, I'm still walking down the road, I saw another sign. This one said, said only deaf child on it. Oh, that's great. Just putting out a giant beacon to schoolyard bullies and candy-having strangers saying, easy pickings right here. How about no more street signs for children? Well, maybe one. It'll just say, children, enter at your own risk. See? Nothing fishy about that one. Why isn't fish a more regular pizza topping? I'm not talking weird-ass anchovies. I mean, like, salmon. Like, we would put chicken on a pizza. You know, just put salmon on a pizza. What is it going on with, is it going to make the pizza taste fishy? Well, that would be inevitable. You're putting fish on a pizza. You know, like fish and pineapple. I'm just saying, some fishy's going on there. And tomorrow marks the start of June, everybody. June, as you may know, what that means, is the coming of the rainbows. I'm not sure why they picked June to be the gay month, but I feel they did a good job with it. Really feels like the gayest month. You know, still got all that built-up winter, spring energy. Schools are closing, pools are opening. Not too hot to do all that, or not too hot to wear your full gimp suit in public. Perfect for gays. Chunky. Also in June, we have Juneteenth, an admirable holiday about ending slavery with just the worst name imaginable. How about the end of bondage? That'd be pretty cool. Or something cool like that. It's like if we called Pearl Harbor Day Bodhi Bombi Day. In the news recently, there's been a lot of talk about the debt ceiling. And to no one's surprise, the Democrats want there to be no limits on how much debt they can accrue. And the Republicans just want to say no to the Democrats. Beautiful politics as it is. I saw an article recently that said gunmen in Pittsburgh synagogue massacre harbored malice and hate for Jews. Geez, you don't say. At least, I've never heard of people getting massacred out of apathy. Imagine getting weapons and ammo, picking a target, making a plan, then actually carrying it out just because you had nothing better to do that day. That, my friends, is what you call true centrism. That's good. You never get centrism jokes. I mean, beautiful. It's perfect. I make fun of myself. We also had the story of the city bike Karen this month, wherein almost everybody logically assumed a 6-month pregnant white lady walked into a group of urban youths and just started to try to steal one of their bikes. This was later proven to be untrue, shockingly. But what still is true, pregnant women being a menace to society. Their bellies go, and their nipples get weird, and they just snap. Pregnant lady jokes never go out of style, just like pregnant ladies. All right. Now this page is kind of like a bit, all right? I'm just going to go with it. So, poop. Poop is one of the worst things to step in ever. The liquefied remains of your family is also up there. A bronchoblast is when one runs at full speed towards a desired target, then jumps and throws their body weight back, grabs their ankles, lifts as high as they can, and then unleashes all bodily fluids before making contact. Do with this info as you will. Jacking off in the Atlantic Ocean was as close as I've come to fucking with Poseidon. The Poseidon is when you are banging one person doggy style with two others next to them that you are fingering. As so. So you are like the points of a trident, and just before you come, you scream, "Unleash the Kraken." I think I went on a date with a trans woman once. It was like that, or I forgot where the vagina was. Both are equally likely, I guess. A glam trans grand slam is when you bang a trans person to David Bowie, then go to Denny's for a grand slam afterwards. A grand slam is a disappointing breakfast combo from Denny's. Because I'm lazy is objectively the worst reason to eat out. If I do this, she might date me is also a bad reason to eat out. Sexual leverage is when you position your feet the right way to maintain your strength in holding the lady off a cliff until she agrees to have sex with you. Sex between a man and a woman is sacred. Sex between a man and his couch cushions, not so much. But sex between couch cushions and a dog, now that's back to being sacred. God works in mysterious ways. The doggy froggy loggy position is one where you line up leapfrog style with your gay dude and you thrust into their asshole and then leapfrog over them and then they mount you and repeat until someone comes, drops a poop, or runs out of square footage. I personally find poop a little off-putting, you know? Something about it. Not my cup of tea. If that's what you're into, go ahead, you know. I don't want to shame anyone. Play with it. Kiss it. Rub it in your gums. Do as you want. Do whatever you want to it. Just don't kiss me afterwards. The San Fran kiss of death is a rare technique developed by ancient gay jiu-jitsu masters from San Francisco, where one pins their opponent in such a way where his opponent's asshole is laid bare in front of him like a king's feast to a peasant, and he then proceeds to suck so hard on aforementioned brown flour that he takes out a vital organ or two and is left a shattered husk doomed to die in a matter of days. But it only has a 40% sexual completion rate, making it by far one of the least gratifying moves in the ancient gay master's repertoire. Yeah, that was it for that bit. I just had two other... I was like a back and forth kind of thing. I don't know what I'm thinking about, but two little stupid jokes at the end. Neo-reactionaries had a lot to say about the new Matrix movie. I'm like the number one political humor guy on the internet. People just don't get it. All right, my last joke. I didn't really write this one out. I just have the footnotes here, so I'm going to try to make it up in my head as I go. Black guys wrongfully are labeled as ass men, when really the real butt men out there are white guys. It's all, what about slavery? But what about racism? But what about discrimination? But those are the butt white men. See, I want to try to make a woke joke or a joke. It's not, I don't know. It was something to try. But thanks for checking out this episode of Fat, Dumb, and Angry Live. I'm dying up here in the heat, so I'm cutting this quick. Doesn't need to be a full hour. Fuck it. I'm dying. Anyway, hopefully I'll get a video or two out this with the house shopping and stuff, maybe I'll only be able to get like one song and one video out a week with the live stream, or month with the live stream, so don't expect too much. But hey, it's what I do the live stream for, so I at least got something going on.